Hello everyone, welcome to another video. And today I want to talk about choosing the right habits for you. And what do I mean by that? So we cannot live life in a perfect, healthy way, And what do I mean by that? I mean that each one of us is choosing certain habits that we see fit in our life that are not necessarily making our life longer or not necessarily are healthy for us, but we choose them because they make our life easier. It can be coffee drinking, caffeine drinking, which I'm going to talk about in a second. It can be smoking cigarettes. It can be drinking alcohol. It can be eating fast food. It can be not sleeping a lot, etc. You get what I'm saying. So living an optimal life, fully optimal life, it's not really something we can do really. But if we talk for a second about habits that we can choose, have you ever asked yourself, what habits do I do? And do they really benefit me? And in what way? So I'll start with an example about myself. I drink like 3, 4, sometimes 5 cups of coffee every day. I drink also pre-workout before I go to the gym. So this is also like 2, 3 cups of coffee. So my consumption of caffeine is pretty high during the day. Is it healthy? Probably not. But the benefit that I get from this habit overrides it being not healthy. If I drink a lot of caffeine during the day, a lot of coffee during the day, I feel more energetic. First of all, in the gym, I drink one before I go to the gym. I feel more energetic. My training will be better. And then I will go to my school and I will be more awake. And I will be more focused. I will be more driven to do stuff. I will not be as tired if I wouldn't drink it. And then at the end of the day, I will start feeling a little bit tired. And on the other hand, drinking a lot of caffeine can cause heart problems and can cause, I think, mostly heart rate problems, if I remember correctly, which is a bad thing. But then again, in my opinion, the benefit that I get from it overrides. Now let's take a look on another common habit that a lot of people have. Smoking cigarettes, for example. I don't smoke. I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore. But if you apply the same method that I just described, and you ask yourself, I smoke cigarettes. I smoke, let's say, 10 cigarettes a day. I get joy from it. But is it really worth it? You need to ask yourself. In my book, it wasn't. Is it really worth me getting lung cancer or me feeling always tired and hard to breathe? And for me, the judgment whether if I'm going to do a habit or not is always related to the benefit I get from it and whether it's helping me to get further in life and in the stuff that I want to do. Smoking cigarettes for me is not one of them. For example, as I said about caffeine, that caffeine helps me to go through my day, to have a good training, and to pass the day in a more efficient way. For me, this is a good benefit. Cigarettes, I don't see the benefits in it. Maybe you do, I don't know. But cigarettes doesn't bring anything besides joy. And do you really want to prioritize joy over your life? I'm not sure. And if we look, for example, on another thing, sleeping, for example, sleeping or actually not sleeping a lot of hours. Personally, I sleep every night like 6, 7 hours. 7 hours on a good night, but usually it's like between 6 and 7. And again, I know it's not that healthy because the body needs to rest. But if sleeping 1 or 2 hours less every night gives me the ability to do more during my day And I'm not talking do more as in like watching Netflix or playing video games until late at night, but I'm talking about waking up early, going to the gym early, and doing all of the things that I need to do early and then during the day as well, until a late hour, which then I go to sleep and then do it again. Then this is a good benefit for me. It benefits my life, and I'd rather take the risk of sleeping less hours because the benefit overrides the risk in my book. And then like on the weekend I sleep, I take one day off and I sleep properly, And for example, let's talk about drinking alcohol. I cannot think of one benefit that drinking alcohol gives me that makes my life better, that I can say that overrides the cons of drinking alcohol. And I'm drinking here and there, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about mostly drinking every day just to pass your day, or every night just to feel better about yourself. And another thing I want to point out is our awareness to that, to what I just talked about. Because most of the time we hear that caffeine is not good for us, or smoking is not good for us, or sleeping less is not good for us, or alcohol is not good for us, from people that are actually having worse habits than us, You're going to hear from your smoker friend not to drink a lot of caffeine, But what if caffeine actually benefits my life? And I'm not saying like because he or she smokes cigarettes, then he cannot tell you that caffeine is bad, and maybe because they smoke cigarettes, caffeine is actually not bad. But we tend to forget about those habits that are really ingrained in our daily life, that are worse than other stuff that maybe not as obvious to us, like drinking a lot of caffeine or eating a lot of salt, that we tend to look away from them, like smoking cigarettes or whatever. But this is a thought that I had for a while, that I asked myself, I don't care that people tell me that drinking a lot of caffeine is bad, because what if it's actually benefit my life in a way that I'd rather take the risk, And then I ask the same thing about the rest of my habits, about sleeping less hours. If we look at the pros and cons, so drinking a lot of caffeine versus being more productive during the day, sleeping less hours versus having more time to do stuff during the day, stuff that benefits you. Smoking cigarettes, I don't see a good benefit for me. I don't know, maybe you guys can come up with a good benefit. Goes off my list, I don't smoke anymore, a few years now. Drinking alcohol, same thing. I don't see a benefit for it that moves my life forward. Goes off the list. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? But I started to think about those things, and especially when people told me that the stuff I do is not healthy, I started to think like, okay, but what if I see the benefit as a much better way than the actual cons of that thing, Yeah, I don't know. So I just wanted to point out this thought that I had, that because we cannot live a life of perfect health and be healthy all the time and really optimizing our life to that, we kind of have to choose the least bad addiction, if you will, or the least bad habit. Maybe you should start thinking of what are my habits and start choosing the habits that actually benefits your life. Because if we need to choose habits anyway, you might as well choose the least bad and those that actually benefit your life rather than not benefiting it. Or at least that the benefit is worth taking the risk of doing that habit. That's my tip from me to you for today. So yeah, that's it. This is what I wanted to talk about today. And I'm going to go start my day. I hope you'll have a good day. If you're not subscribed yet, please do. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.